All right, folks, let's talk about one of the legends in aviation history, the F-18 Hornet. This bird was something else, no doubt about it. But you know what the Navy wanted? They wanted something beefier, something more versatile, to back up their mighty F-14 Tomcat. They turned to a revamped version of the Hornet, and man, did they hit the jackpot. Enter the Super Hornet. Now, this bad boy's roots trace back to the Northrop prototype P530. But let me tell you, they didn't just tweak a few things here and there. They gave it a serious upgrade. We're talking a bigger wing, a longer fuselage, and some meaner engines. The Super Hornet didn't have an easy ride though. Nah, it had to fight through some tough times. You had the whole debacle with the A-12 Avenger 2 getting canned, which kinda cleared the path for the Super Hornet to step up as an alternative for the A-6 Intruder. But despite all the drama, the Super Hornet proved itself. In the 90s, this bad boy took to the skies, becoming the Navy's answer to their aging aircraft problem. Now, the Super Hornet, it's got a lot in common with its older sibling, Hornet, but it's also got some serious upgrades. We're talking a 25% larger airframe, bigger rectangular air intakes, souped-up General Electric F414 engines, all controlled by some fancy tech called FADEC. And let's not forget about the enhanced avionics suite, giving it some serious performance upgrades. So, what's the deal when you put these two birds side by side? Well, let me break it down for you. The Super Hornet, compared to the Hornet, it's like night and day. It's got all these improvements that make it a real powerhouse. And let me tell you, it's been faithfully serving alongside the Hornet in the Navy's carrier fleet, just biding its time until the F-35C Lightning II comes along to take its spot. So there you have it, folks! The Super Hornet, a true Yankee marvel of aviation, taking what was already great and making it even better. That's the American way, ain't it? Listen up, folks, because we're diving into the guts of the Super Hornet, and let me tell you, it's packing some serious punch. First off, we're talking fuel. This baby's got tanks for days, 33% more fuel internally than its predecessor. And when you add in those beefed up wings, you're looking at a whopping 50% boost in range. That means this bird can fly further, hit harder, and stay in the air longer than ever before. But it's not just about fuel and range, folks. The Super Hornet's loaded with extras, like 2 extra weapon stations and some top-of-the-line stealth tech to keep it off enemy radars. And get this, despite being bigger and heavier than the old F-18 Hornet, this beast still outperforms it in every way imaginable. With fewer parts and lower maintenance needs, it's a real workhorse for the Navy. Now, let's talk takeoff. The Super Hornet ain't afraid to kick things into high gear. With its afterburners blazing and its FADEC system firing on all cylinders, this bird can take off like a bat out of hell. And compared to the old Hornet, it needs a lot less runway to get airborne. We're talking 1,000 feet less and nearly 20 knots slower. That's some serious speed, folks. And when it comes to launching off an aircraft carrier, well, let's just say the Super Hornet makes it look easy. With full flaps and no afterburner mid-cat stroke, this bird can leap off the deck like it's nothing. Sure, there have been some tweaks to the procedures, but the end result is the same pure, unadulterated awesomeness. So there you have it, folks! The Super Hornet ain't just another fighter jet, it's a game changer. With its increased fuel capacity, extra firepower, and unmatched performance, it's the ultimate flying machine for the U.S. Navy. And that's something to be proud of, let me tell you. Now, let's talk about bringing this bad boy back home safely, landing the Super Hornet. There are some subtle differences between this bird and its older sibling, the Hornet, especially when it comes to touching down. You see, the Super Hornet's got this fancy auto-throttle system that pays attention to how you're moving the stick, while the Hornet's more focused on distance. And because of its larger legs and wings, the Super Hornet comes in about 10 knots slower during landing. But don't let that fool you, it's all part of the plan. Plus, the Super Hornet can do this cool thing called aerobraking, where it keeps its nose up after touchdown, helping it slow down even faster. And let me tell you, with its strong brakes, this bird can stop on a dime. Now, when it comes to landing on an aircraft carrier, the Super Hornet's the real champ. With its slower approach speed, larger wings, and more powerful engines, it can make smoother corrections on the glide slope, making it easier to nail that perfect landing. And with a power caret symbol in the HUD for precise alignment, the Super Hornet's pilots can bring this beast in with pinpoint accuracy. Sure, landing on a carrier ain't always smooth sailing, but the Super Hornet makes it look easy. And while you might be tempted to kick on the afterburner when you touch down, that's a no-go in the Super Hornet. But hey, that's a small price to pay for all the improvements this bird brings to the table. One big improvement with the Super Hornet is its increased bring-back capability. With its robust design and larger fuel tanks, pilots can land with more weapons still in the chamber. Meanwhile, a heavily loaded Hornet might struggle to find enough fuel for landing attempts. But not the Super Hornet. With its greater fuel capacity, it can carry extensive loadouts and still have fuel left for multiple landing attempts during recovery. And let's talk about range, folks! The Super Hornet blows the Hornet out of the water in this department. With a combat range of 1,458 miles, it outperforms its predecessor. And when it's on a ferry mission, forget about it, the Super Hornet can cover a whopping 1,898 miles. That's some serious distance, my friends, and it's all thanks to those larger tanks and improved capabilities. So there you have it, folks! The Super Hornet isn't just a fighter jet, it's a game changer. From takeoff to landing, this bird is raising the bar for naval aviation. And that's something to be proud of, no doubt about it. Now, the Hornet's got some solid gear on board. Its used APG-73 radar is top-notch, helping pilots stay aware of their surroundings by detecting and tracking targets, as well as aiding in navigation and weapon delivery. Plus, with the ALR-67 radar warning receiver and rover antenna for real-time data transmission, it's a force to be reckoned with in the skies. But when it comes to the Super Hornet, L3 Harris has really kicked things up a notch. They've brought in state-of-the-art technologies like advanced processors, fiber optics, and wideband antennas, all tied together with cutting-edge networking systems. And let's not forget about their smart carriage and release technology, ensuring mission payloads get where they need to go, safely and efficiently. And when it comes to electronic warfare, the Super Hornet's got it covered. With systems like the ALQ-214 Integrated Defensive Electronic Countermeasure, it's ready to fend off any electronic threats that come its way. Plus, if you're talking about the EA-18G Growler variant, it's equipped with the ALQ-99 Standoff Jammer, giving it some serious electronic attack capabilities and complete spectrum dominance. So, which one's superior? Well, that's a tough call. Both the Hornet and the Super Hornet have their strengths, but when it comes to avionics, I'd have to give the edge to the Super Hornet. With its state-of-the-art technology and cutting-edge systems, it's truly a force to be reckoned with in the modern battlefield. But hey, that's just my 2 cents. What do you think? Drop a comment below and let's keep the discussion going. Catch you in the next episode.